Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and this is Styling V, and this is a tutorial of how I made this corset top, as you can see right here. So I've drafted the corset top on one of my videos, and this is the sewing process. Okay, so I've gone ahead to transfer all my patterns to my fabric like this, and I added half of an inch on all the sides, and on the hemline I added 1 inch. Okay, both on the shaping side is half of an inch, and also on the cup area half of an inch, and also around the cup pattern half of an inch round, and also on the back pattern I added half of an inch, and just the only place I added 1 inch is just the hem line area. Okay, that is the lower side of the dress. That is the only place I added 1 inch. So now just go in and gum my hairstay to both the lining piece and also the main fabric. Okay, as you can see right here. So guys, I am done gumming the hairstay to the both the piece that I have. Okay, so now this is how it will be. This is the front pattern. I'll just go ahead and place it right side facing right side, and I'll sew it half of an inch, okay, on both sides, because that was the allowance that I added. So this is how it will be. This is how the front pattern will be. So this is the lining piece. Whatever I do is the lining piece, I'll do the same thing to the main fabric, and I'll keep that aside. So for the back pattern, I'll go ahead and place it on right side facing right side. Okay, so this is how the back pattern will be. Now this is the lining piece. Okay, whatever thing you see here, that is how the main fabric is. So I'll just go ahead and place it right side facing right side, and I'll go ahead and sew it half of an inch. That is one side of our back pattern, and this is the second side of the back pattern. Okay, because this is how the back pattern will be. Okay, so just go ahead and sew it right side facing right side using half of an inch allowance that was added earlier. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and do the same thing to the main fabric and also to the cup pattern, which is this. Okay, now remember there is a center and there is a side part, and I notched the two of them so that I won't get confused. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and follow the pattern, that is both the side and center, and I'll go ahead and place them right side facing right side like this. Okay, and I'll go ahead and sew it half of an inch, following the shape of the pattern. Okay, now whatever I do to one cup, I'll do the same thing to the other cup. Now any joining you do to the front, to your main bodice, is the same joining that you do to your lining. Okay, so guys, I am done joining them, and this is the main fabric. Okay, look at my cup. I went ahead to iron them like this. Okay, so the next thing for me to do is to dart our cup. Okay, you can go ahead and place your cup like this, but for me, I love to dart my cup to give it that push-up effect. Okay, now look at how you go ahead and dart it. You just go ahead and fold it into 2 equal halves, and from the midpoint you go ahead and come up by 2.5 inches like this. Okay, you go ahead and come up by 2.5 inches and you mark like this. Okay, and also from the midpoint like this, you go ahead and mark half of an inch and you connect it to meet that 2.5 inches like this. Okay, so that's just very simple how to dart your cup. Okay, you just go ahead and sew from the 2.5 inches and to meet the half of an inch down. Okay, so and that's just basically all. Whatever thing you do to one cup, you also go ahead and do it to the other cup. Okay, so let's take it over to the sewing machine so that you guys will see what I mean. Okay, so now I'll start from the bottom part of the cup, that is the half of an inch on the bottom part, to meet the 2.5 inches. So look at how I am sewing this, and this is how it is. So you can see how deep the cup looks right here. Okay, so this is just how to dart your cup, and the next thing for me to do is to join both the cup piece to the front, to the main bodice of the corset. Okay, so this is the cup. Now you can go ahead and add your cup first to this cup pattern. Okay, but for me, I love to join my cup pattern first before to the main bodice before attaching my cup to it. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and place it midpoint facing midpoint, and I'll just go ahead and sew round using half of an inch. That is the allowance that I added earlier. So whatever thing I do to one cup, I'll go ahead and do it to the other cup. Okay, so I'll just take it over to my sewing machine and I'll just go ahead and sew it round. After that, I'll go ahead and place my cup inside of it, and this is how to attach your cup to it. Okay, so I'll be using my hemming gum to do this. If you don't have hemming gum, you can go ahead and use your gum to do this, like that is your fabric gum to do this particular method. But since I don't have, I'll be using my hemming gum to do this. I'll just use my hemming gum to cover up my cup pattern like this. Okay, as you can see me doing right here, and I'll just go ahead and place my main fabric on it like this, and using my pressing iron, I'll just go ahead and press it up. Okay, now please endeavor to arrange it very well before using your pressing iron, because the moment you use your pressing iron on it, it will just go ahead and gum the whole thing. So that is why you have to arrange it very well, okay, before using your pressing iron. So guys, I am done attaching the cup, and this is what we have. Okay, so you can see how our cup is. This is the inside and this is the outside of the cup. Okay, like so. So the next thing for me to do is to shape. Okay, so I'll go ahead and place the back pattern on it, right side facing right side, and I'll go ahead and shape with 1/2 inch. Okay, that is the sewing allowance that I added earlier. I'll go ahead and shape it 1/2 inch. Whatever thing I do to one side, I'll do it to the other side, like so. Okay, as you can see right here. So I'll just go ahead and keep it aside. And for the lining piece, we'll have to create a boning channel. Okay, we'll go ahead and create a boning casing channel on it first before allowance. Okay, before joining the both front and back piece together. So you just go ahead and place your boning casing on all the sides that you see me showing you guys. So it depends on how many casing you want to add. So this is how to cut your casing. Okay, now for the casing, for the width of this casing, you just go ahead and use 1.5 inches for the width of it, and for the length, depending on how many casing you want to create, so but you just go ahead and cut a very long strap of it. Okay, so this is how you go ahead and place it. Now place it on where I want the casing to be, and I'll go ahead and sew on the edges. Okay, now you sew it in a way that your boning will be able to pass through it. Okay, like this. So now for the back pattern, that is for the front pattern, and for the back pattern, this is how it will be. Okay, now before putting your casing on the side where you will have to join both the front and back, that is both the lining piece and the main fabric, you'll not be attaching a casing to it. Okay, like on this eyelet side, I'll just go ahead and minus the 1/2 inch for joining allowance before placing my casing on it. Okay, I'll place it on that side, and on this joining side, I'll go ahead and place one casing, and also on this side, okay, I'll go ahead and place one casing. Now the same thing I do to one end, I'll go ahead and do it to the other side of it. Okay, so guys, I am done, and this is what we have. So you can see all the casing that I created, all the casing channel that I created, and all the side that I did not put is for my allowance. Okay, for my joining allowance, and this is what we have. I also went ahead and put a sewable boning on it. Okay, that is where the eyelet will be. I went ahead to put a sewable boning on it. So the next thing for me to do is to shape. Okay, I'll just take it over to my sewing machine and shape both the front and back together, and also attach my cut piece to it. Okay, yes, I'll go ahead and also attach this cut piece to it right here. So guys, I am done attaching it, and this is what we have. Okay, so the next thing for me to do is to place them right side facing right side. That is both the lining piece and the main fabric. I'll go ahead and place them right side facing right side, like so. Okay, now when you're placing this right side facing right side, all the points must meet. That is, your joining allowance must meet your joining allowance for your main fabric and for your lining piece. Okay, and also for your cup joining, where you join the midpoint together, you go ahead and join the both lining and the main fabric piece. Okay, that is, all the shapes must meet at the same ends. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and hold them up using a pin first. Okay, I'll go ahead and use my pin to hold them up like this, okay, before taking it to my sewing machine to sew. Okay, so look at how I am placing my pin to hold them up like this, because this is an inseam. Yes, it's an inseam joining, so that is why I am placing them like this. I'll just go ahead and follow the shape of the neckline, and I'll just sew, okay, on this upper part like this. I'll just go ahead and sew with 1/2 inch, and when I'm done, I'll also go ahead and sew this side with 1/2 inch, okay, like this. I'll just go ahead and place it, and I'll sew with 1/2 inch on all sides like this, okay. As you can see me showing you right here. So guys, I am done sewing them. Yeah, I'm done joining both the lining piece and the main fabric, okay, and this is what we have. This is the outer side of it, and this is the inside of it like this, okay. So the next thing for me to do is to attach my boning to it. Now, using this opening that we have on the lower part of it, we'll just go ahead and pass our boning on all of them like this, okay. You just go ahead and pass our boning on them like this, okay, on all the channels that were created. Now, when you pass your boning, you just go ahead and leave 1/2 inch for joining, okay. Now, your boning will not reach the hem side. Yes, even if it reaches the end side, that is the hem, you go ahead and trim it, so that by the time you're joining the lower parts, your sewing machine will not be matching the boning area, okay. So that's just what you just go ahead and do. So I'll just go ahead and attach all my boning to all the casing that I added. So guys, I am done, and the next thing for me to do is to cover up this lower parts, okay, and I'll just go ahead and use a strap to sew on the lower part. Now, the same thing you did to the front part, so the same thing you did to the upper side, you also do it to the lower part, okay. So all the lines will meet, both the shaping sides and every other lines will have to meet, okay. So now this is how you pipe the lower part of it. I'll just go ahead and place my strap, that is what I'll be using for my bias, on the lower side like this. That is both the main fabric piece and the lining piece on each other, and I'll just go ahead and sew like this, okay. So now I am sewing on the right side of my fabric, that's on the good face of my fabric first, before I'll go ahead and turn. It's like doing a bias, how to bias your dress. So that's just the same thing that you just go ahead and do, okay. So I'll just do it from one end to meet the other end. So guys, when I'm done, I'll just go ahead and fold it up like this, okay, as you can see me doing right here, to meet the lining side, okay. And I'll just go ahead and sew. I also sew from one end to meet the other end, as you can see me doing right here, okay. So now this is what we have. So guys, I am done, and this is what we have. So you can see how neat it is on both inside and outside. You can tell where I joined my fabric. So this is how yours will be, okay, when you do this method. So guys, I am done, and the next thing for me to do is to give it a good press and also put my eyelets on it, okay. So guys, I am done putting my eyelets, and this is the final outcome of it. So if you've watched to this point, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.